The Bureau of Economic Analysis will release a gross domestic product estimate. Drop me in the chat some examples that you would like me to pull up for GDP on how that is important to a particular industry, right? So let's go to that, and we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna search for gross domestic product. And we have, so the GDP, gross domestic product, is like a scorecard for the country's economy. I think we reviewed this very recently for the third quarter estimate. All right, so this tells us the total value of everything, all goods and services produced within a country in 1 year. Breaking it down, goods are things you can touch and see, like cars, books, and toys. Services are activities that people do for others, like teaching, haircuts, and medical checkups. Let's see. So why is GDP important? It measures the economic health. GDP helps us understand how well the economy is doing. When GDP is high, it means people are producing and buying lots of things. When GDP is low, it means the economy might be in trouble and people might be producing and buying less. Comparing countries, GDP allows us to compare the size and health of different countries' economies. For example, if one country has a higher GDP than another, it generally means it has a stronger economy. For government decisions, government uses GDP to make important decisions. For example, if the GDP is growing, they might decide to build more schools and hospitals. If GDP is shrinking, they might look for ways to boost the economy. It helps in business planning. Businesses look at GDP to decide whether to expand, hire more workers, or invest in new projects. High GDP usually means good times, celebrate good times for businesses, while low GDP can signal tough times ahead. So let's see what example. So we did the wire the other day. Let's think of one. How could GDP affect, I got you, a rapper who falsely applied for PPP loans? How about that? Let's see what that has to say. So, let me see. All right, so we're over here. Now, let's think about a rapper who falsely applies for PPP, Paycheck Protection Program loans. These loans were supposed to be to help businesses stay afloat during tough times like when COVID-19 pandemic hit. If someone cheats and gets these loans when they don't really need them or don't qualify, it's like stealing money. Here's how this could connect to GDP. If the rapper is actually helping the economy, if they're using the loan to pay workers, buy equipment, or invest in their music business, that can help grow the GDP. More jobs and buying things can mean more money moving in the economy. If the rapper gets caught, if the government finds out they lied about needing a loan, they could face penalties like paying the money back. This could hurt their business and personal finances. If they have to pay fine or lose money, they can't spend as much on things like music, videos, or their team, which could lower the GDP a bit. And I will add that money that could have went to businesses that actually needed it were diverted to these rappers and singers and stuff like that. And now we end up paying for whatever it is that they're doing. However, a caveat to that is, if their team, right? If they consider the workers the people who they were spending the money on, and if they consider their Lamborghinis as equipment, maybe they need it for a music video, then they might actually get away with it.
Bruh.
All right, I'm just saying. I don't like it, but they might actually get away with it. But let's take a look at our GDP. So let's go to full schedule. Let's go all the way. Let me see. Let's go down to December. This one. Gross domestic product third quarter, third estimate. No. Okay. So let's see. Real gross domestic product increased at an annual rate of 3.1% in the third quarter of 2024. According to the third estimate released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, in the second quarter, the real GDP increased 3%. The GDP estimate released today is based on more complete source data than were available for the second estimate issued last month. In the second estimate, the increase in real GDP was 2.8%. The update primarily reflected upward revisions to export and consumer spending that were partly offset by a downward revision to private inventory investments. Imports, which are a subtraction in the calculation, were revised up, refer to updates to GDP. The increase in real GDP primarily reflected increases in consumer spending, exports, non-residential fixed investments, and federal government spending. Compared to the second quarter, the acceleration in real GDP in the third quarter primarily reflected accelerations in exports. So we have more exports, consumer spending, people are spending more, and federal government spending. Of course, as always, the government is always spending more money. These movements were partly offset by a downturn in private inventory investment and larger decrease in residential fixed investment. Imports accelerated, probably due to Temu. Current dollar GDP increased. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. Current dollar GDP increased 5% at an annual rate of 358.2 billion in the third quarter to a level of 29.37 trillion, an upward revision of 20.6 billion from the previous estimate. More information on the source data that underlies the estimate is available. Key source data assumptions. The price index for gross domestic purchases increased 1.9% in the third quarter, the same as the previous estimate. The personal consumption expenditures price index increased at 1.5%, which is the same as previously estimated. Excluding food and energy, the PCE price index increased 2.2%, an upward revision of 0.1%. Personal income, the current dollar personal income increased 191.7 billion in the third quarter, an upward revision of 15.8 billion from the previous estimate. Disposable income increased 141.5 billion or 2.7% in the third quarter, an upward revision of 18.6 billion from the previous estimate. Personal savings was at 936.6 billion in the third quarter, an upward revision of 2.1 billion from the previous estimate. The personal saving rate as a percentage of disposable personal income was 4.3% in the third quarter. Let's see, gross domestic income and corporate profits. Gross domestic income, GDI, increased 2.1% in the third quarter, a downward revision of 0.1%. Let's see. Profits for current production, corporate profit with inventory valuation and capital consumption adjustments decreased by 15 billion in the third quarter. That's not good. Because I want corporations to make more profit so that we can actually keep our jobs. If you guys keep saying, oh, the corporations are making so much money, guess what? It's your job they're going to get rid of. I'm just saying, right? So I want the corporations to make as much money as possible so they can hire more people so that we can stop whining, complaining about not having a job. All right? You guys want software engineering jobs, QA jobs, business analyst jobs, cybersecurity jobs. You need these corporations to make more money so that they can hire more people so they can give you a job and give you that shot that you've been looking for, right? Let's see. So profits for domestic financial corporations increased 3 billion in the third quarter, an upward revision of 5.6 billion from the previous estimates. Profits of domestic non-financial corporations increased 24.9 billion, a downward revision of 5.9 billion. Rest of world profits decreased 42.9 billion, a downward revision of 4.6 billion. Let's see, anything else? GDP by industry. Retail trade is up. Healthcare and social assistance. So these are all the private. So government is over here. And then what's down? Utilities, construction, arts, entertainment, and recreation. Administrative waste management services, agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting are all down. All right. Let me see. Real gross output, principally a measure of industry sales or receipts, which includes sales to final users. Economy GDP increased 3.2% in the third quarter. Private goods producing industries increased 0.6%. Private services producing industries increased 4%. And government increased 3.5%. Overall, 17 out of the 22 industry groups contributed to the increase in real gross output. All right. So that is everything for the GDP. Let's go back and
men lying, women lying, numbers manipulate. Don't matter what no one say, I throw the stats away. No need for calculators, we already greater. No need to validate us. It's Tech Coach Ralph TV. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop the yawning. But I get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Men lie, women lie. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Men lie, women lie. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Number manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate.